One of the most confusing things about going to college is figuring out what it's going to cost. You may have heard about your school's cost of attendance, but what does that mean? Is it the same for everyone? Do you have to pay all that? All good questions. So let's talk about how the official cost of attendance, or COA, could differ from your actual cost to attend and how it is used to determine your financial aid offer. Federal law requires all schools to calculate an estimated average COA for one academic year. It varies by school and is different for each academic year, but all COA generally use the same categories. First, there are tuition and fees. If you're going to a public school, you will notice there's in-state tuition and out-of-state tuition, which is usually higher. Second, there's room and board. For students who live on campus, that includes the average cost to live in the dorms and meal plan. For off-campus students, it is an estimated housing and food allowance. Next, books and supplies. Schools usually base the price of textbooks on an average of books sold at the college bookstore. Then, transportation. This is usually an average of all students' costs to get to and from school, which can vary widely. It's a good idea to calculate your own transportation costs. Finally, living or personal expenses. Living expenses encompass basic things like your cell phone, clothing, or entertainment. The official COA is different than what you will end up paying because the COA is just an average of what your school could cost. Your actual school costs may be more, or they may be less. For example, at most schools, it will cost you more to choose a single dorm room over having roommates. Or choosing a more comprehensive meal plan versus the average plan could increase costs. And many students may pay less than the cost of attendance. This is because the financial aid you qualify for is based on your school's COA. Your financial aid is calculated by subtracting your expected family contribution, or EFC, from your school's COA. Your EFC is the cost the government expects your family to reasonably contribute toward your college education. It is determined by the Free Application for Federal Student Aid, FAFSA. For example, if your school's COA is $35,000 and your EFC is $10,000, you are eligible for a maximum of $25,000 in financial aid. Schools can offer you up to this amount of need-based financial aid. The amount will vary based on availability of funds at each institution. You may be concerned because your financial aid doesn't cover all the costs to attend school, but there are still options. Seek out additional grants, scholarships, and federal student loans. Then, do your research and consider a private student loan to fill the gaps. To learn more, visit collegeavestudentloans.com.